Hello YouTubers, this is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today we've got the Sic Diecast Top 5 Fantasy Casting Challenge. Thank you Rick for starting this chain video, and thank you to Paul Wooten and Patrick J for nominating me to show my top 5 fantasy castings. Yep, as a lot of people have been finding out, it is very hard actually to decide what are your top 5 fantasy castings and what really is a fantasy casting anyway. What constitutes a fantasy casting? Well, I kind of separated into 2 categories. The cheater fantasy category, which is basically cars that are kind of modeled after real vehicles, but yet they're unlicensed, so they are considered a fantasy casting. And ones that I would consider a true fantasy casting, that are pretty crazy vehicles that don't really exist in real life. And of course you got some borderline ones as well. But anyway, so I kind of picked out 10 cars. Sorry, I'm not really following the rules, but I've got my top 5 cheater fantasy cars and my top 5 true fantasy cars. So starting out with number 1, my number 1 favorite casting of all time, and a fantasy casting because it's not made after a real vehicle. Shout out to Dave, Deals on Diecast. You picked this as one of your top 5 as well. Is the Super Van. And here this is an old Blackwall version, Flames. Pretty sweet. There's lots of castings that are kind of like this that came out in the Blackwall era that aren't like licensed vehicles, but they're really kind of modeled after real vehicles, like the Baja Breaker, Bywayman, Backwoods Bomb, stuff like that. There's newer ones kind of too, like Texas Drive 'em. Doesn't really say it's a Ford truck or whatever, but it's a Ford truck. But so this counts as a fantasy casting, at least one in the cheater category. And I'll take this one as my number 1. Number 2, oh yeah, and here's a custom of one that I made. Of course, the one with LED headlights. I got some customs in the back of some of my favorite castings back here. And then we got the Hotbird. Now the Hotbird, of course, is a Pontiac Firebird, Trans Am, or a Pontiac Firebird, or a combination, whatever. Anyway, it's got the Firebird on the front. It's really a Trans Am. It's really a Pontiac, but it is an unlicensed vehicle. So I picked this one as my number 2, and this is definitely one of my all-time favorite castings. And then here's a custom Hotbird I have in progress right now. Haven't finished yet, haven't detailed it all, but pretty cool. So there's that. So there's the Hotbird. So I guess this is a real cheater one, but that's a fancy casting kind of. Next up we got the Highway Hauler. This isn't a real car, or it's not a licensed vehicle, so this counts as a fantasy casting in the cheater category. Shout out to you, PJ. But yeah, Highway Hauler, fun casting to collect. There's a ton of different versions of it, so really cool casting, really fun. So there's my number 3, and then number 4 we got the Ramp Truck, which is just a cool casting, a cooler old casting. It's an unlicensed casting, I guess it really is a fantasy casting. It's no real vehicle. I'm sure there's, towing companies that may have a ramp-style truck, but it's pretty cool. You can put a car in the back. Oop, it doesn't run away pretty reliably, so it looks cool for displaying stuff, displaying customs and whatnot, and all that. So there's my number 4 in the cheater category. And number 5, we've got the winning formula, which shout out to Dave, Deals on Diecast again. This wasn't technically one of your picks, but you like the racing cars. This one is my favorite Formula 1 like vehicle that Hot Wheels have done. If you look back at all of them, this one is my favorite. It's the newest one. So there's your winning formula. I also did a custom winning formula right there. I think they're a cool car to customize. Probably should add some detail to this, but pretty nice little custom. One of the first ones I did. So pretty cool. Alright, so that's it. There's it for the sort of are real vehicles or not real vehicles category. So Super Van. Alright, so next up we got the actual true fantasy castings. And these aren't really any particular order, but I guess we can kind of put them in as I go here. But the Carbonator. Lots of you have picked this one already. PJ, Braindead636, Chris, Eric Fickey's son, in the Chris and Jacob video. I think they picked this as one of their favorites. So the Carbinator is really cool. Backstory on this one, it was in my top 5 favorite castings of all time as well, and the reason why it was is because this is actually what got me looking up videos about diecast on YouTube. Was this vehicle. I'm like, oh, I wonder if somebody opened one of these up and tried it for, to open up a beer and has a video on it. And I looked it up, and lo and behold, there was a video of it. Don't remember who did it, but then I already saw all these other videos for Hot Wheels, and I got head over heels again for Hot Wheels, and started making videos shortly after getting this vehicle. Shout out to J-Man, too. He's the one who gave me this when we were watching a Packer game. So shout out to you. Thank you very much. I guess that's my number 1. Then we got the Mad Manga. And the next ones really aren't in any particular order. I just really like this casting. It's pretty cool. This could almost be borderline a real car. It's after Bozozoku or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, but pretty neat looking vehicle. I just thought this was really cool. It caught my eye. And I like the Mad Manga. So there that is. Next up we got the Alien. This is a cool one from childhood. I remember playing with these a lot. I actually have like 4 of these in beat up shape. So I must have liked it a lot because I had a bunch of them when I was a kid. And liked playing with this car. Really cool. It's an 80s version of the future kind of car. So really like the Alien. It's a heavy casting. This whole back chunk and everything is metal. The only plastic bits are the front body part. So that's pretty cool. Next up we got the Hot Tub. Hot Tub is sweet. Shout out to Radar468. You picked this as one of your favorites, and I definitely agree with you. The Hot Tub is really cool. Really like the Hot Tub. Of course, made a custom of one of those. My Snoopy Hot Tub. And then the motor from that went into a Volkswagen Beetle. So, really cool car to customize. You can do some funny, goofy stuff with it. And it's a heavy car, heavy casting too, and it's fast down the track. So there's that. And then last up is the Ollie Rocket. Very, very cool. Backstory on this one, of course, is that it was Make-A-Wish Foundation car. Oliver E. Got a chance to actually help the Hot Wheels designers design a car, and what a childhood dream that would have been to come true when you were a kid. Of course, he had some unfortunate circumstances, but I think he's beat cancer or he's in remission. So Oliver E., shout out to you, and great job designing the Ollie Rocket and living a dream of probably many children, including myself when I was a kid. Would have been so awesome to design or help design a Hot Wheels car. So this is pretty special. So that's about it. And again, thank you, Sic Diecast. Now I got to nominate some people here. I'm going to nominate Irv Green. Like to see your top 5 fantasy castings. Scott Dunlap. Like to see your top 5 fantasy castings. Power Wheels. Would like to see yours. And Hot Wheels Tournaments. Would like to see your top 5 fantasy castings. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a great day.